Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to tonight's Thursday night class, continuing in our series, Marriage, the Road Best Travelled. Announcements. The winner of the ELC quiz from the Prophet's Wafat program and the winner of the ELC logo competition will be announced next week in the main hall during the Wiladat of the Prophet. Those of you that ordered DVD 1 of this series on marriage by Sheikh Shomali can now collect your orders from the gents' control room or the ladies' desk. Part 5 on marriage will inshallah take place here in the ELC with Sheikh Shomali on Thursday the 12th of April. Tonight, Part 4 is titled Maintaining Harmony During the Journey. Please welcome Sheikh Shomali with Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره إن شاء الله. There is a remaining part of previous discussion which I inshallah try to finish it quickly, and then we talk about the new part of our series, and that is about the way men and women can establish harmony in family. As I referred last week to a hadith from Imam Raza, and I promised to say the full hadith this week. There is a hadith in which Imam Raza alayhi salam gives us a general advice. He says, whenever you want to get married, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for planning for you what is good for you. This is istikhara. To ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to plan for you what is good for you. So do istikhara, which literally means to ask for something which is good. And then try your best. After asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for goodness and for guidance, then do your best, make your inquiries, whatever is needed, and say 2 rak'ah prayer, like the prayer of Fajr. And after the prayer, raise your hand and say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, I want to get married, so please help me in finding a partner, a spouse, which is good in his or her character, pious, looking after my reputation and my money, and is looking good and will bring for me children. So this shows that in marriage in particular, we really need help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we need to pray, because whatever you do, in the end, you are not 100% sure. You cannot be. Those who are 100% sure, they are very naive. It shows that they have no experience. Whatever you do, you cannot be 100% sure. Even you are not 100% sure about yourself. Who can be sure about how he is going to be in the next few months? So you are never sure. So you must do your best, but we must sincerely ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. And if we do our job properly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows how to do his job properly. And trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should, inshallah, take away every kind of worry from us. Some people are very, very cautious, too cautious, and too worried, and these people cannot make proper decision. If you are too worried, either you always delay marriage and you lose lots of good opportunities, or you make some decision which is not proper decision because you are too worried, and when you are too worried you cannot understand the reality properly. So we must do our best, make consultation, take advice from the people, trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the rest is something that we shouldn't worry about. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So this was about the last part. Now our discussion is about how can we have harmony, how can we regulate our behavior, our treatment of each other. I deliberately didn't want to talk about the rights of wife and husband, the mutual rights which are there, because I think the legal attitude towards marriage is something which can only work as a very minimal instrument for regulating the family life. If I am after my rights and my wife is after her rights, and we are only prepared to give the other party what is his or her right, this is not going to work. There is a difference between legal attitude and moral attitude. In legal attitude, normally people want to secure their own interests. And the only time they can give up is when they are forced by law, maybe a state law, maybe religious law. But just because they are forced, they say, okay, I am ready to give up this part of my interest, this part of my freedom to the other party because this is the right of that person. Of course, here again there is a difference between Islamic legal system and the secular legal system. In the Islamic legal system, you yourself must be volunteer to give the people their rights. But in secular legal system, you don't need to make any effort. Just if people claim, you have to give them their rights. So if someone doesn't know that he has such a right, they don't bother. Or if he knows and doesn't make claim. But in Islamic legal system, if you know that there is such a right for your employee, for your children, for your spouse, for your neighbor, or whatever, you must yourself make sure that you give this right to the person. So here, even in legal system, there is a difference between Islam and secular systems. But still, legal approach, even if it is Islamic legal approach, is not enough. If you say, okay, I just want to act according to Risale,